averaging 3.7 aces. Something that Coach Lawson mentioned Cuba City is very comfortable with. Digman pounds the ball on the court and sends it over. We're underway in tonight's presentation of Tuesday Night Volleyball. And Cuba City starts off with a score. A strong hit there by Lainey Rundy as Mineral Point sent it over to Cuba City on just one hit. Still back to serve. Rundy sends it over to Maddie Cabot. Now Eliza Ingwell will set it. Lindsay in the middle. Rundy digs that one up. Lindsay taps it down. Cuba City playing with this one. They'll send it over to Ava Ingwell. Now Eliza Ingwell sets far. There's the hit from Swenson, ricochets off the hands of Miskey. Now Miskey sends it over to Golly, and Mineral Point can't get to that one. After all that, it's Maya Miskey putting a point on the board for Cuba City. They lead 4-1 early, set one. Cuba City leading Mineral Point 5-3 early, set one. There's the standing still serve from Lindsay. Sent over to Cuba City. Set up by Digman. Tapped over by Miskey. Mineral Point keeps it alive. Kroll to Cabot, who punches it over for the Mineral Point score. Cuba City with 4 straight points. It's 22-20 Cubans. Now there's the serve. Back to Cabot. Set by Ingwell. Swenson has to punch that one over. Ball still in play as it's tapped over. Now Cabot punches it to keep it in the air. Ava Ingwell, Bryn Swenson pass it over. Now Ingersoll, set, hit, the kill from Lainey Rundy. And the scoring run continues late in the first set for Cuba City. Cuba City was down 18-20. They've scored 6 in a row. They're looking to put it away here. We'll start with the serve from Allie Ingersoll over to Ava Ingwell. Now Eliza Ingwell, Swenson, this one ricochets off the net. Violation on Mineral Point. Cuba City scores, and that will do it. Set number 1 goes to Cuba City, 25-20. Here's Vosberg, throws it up and sends it over to Mineral Point. Bounces over the net. Ingwell gets a hit on it, but it's Ella Vosberg with the ace and the win for Cuba City in the second set. Your final there, 25-16. Cuba City takes a 2-0 lead in the match. Maddie Cabot serves from Mineral Point over to Redfern. That one hit over by Rogers, kept alive, still in play with Cuba City. Cabot gets under it. Eliza Ingwell sets to Bryn Swenson, and Swenson gets the kill there as she sends that one cross court off the arms of Vosberg. CFBank.com, member FDIC. There's a serve for Mineral Point. Vosberg hits it over off the fingertips of Lindsay, and Golly still in play. Blocked by Cabot again. Digman sends it over. Ava Ingwell, and now Eliza Ingwell. Cabot with the kill, and we're tied at 22 in set 3. We're back in play here. Lacey Lindsay serving for Mineral Point, tied 23-23. The hit from Vosberg goes out. Rogers keeps it in play as Alexis Rundy sends it over. Now on the other end, Cabot sends it over, and it's set point for Mineral Point. They lead 24-23. We've got a timeout on the floor. And let's find out who will prevail in set number 3. Lacey Lindsay to serve, the 24-23 lead. Vosberg, set by Digman. Rogers taps it over to Lindsay. Eliza Ingwell sets. Golly passes it over. Cuba City still in play. Digman. Vosberg with the hit. It's out, and Mineral Point takes set number 3 over Cuba City. We'll switch sides. Who else but Ella Vosberg serving match point for Cuba City. Cabot with the first hit. Eliza Ingwell sets. Dannenberg gets it over. Now the libero Ingersoll is going to pass it over to Swenson. Eliza Ingwell will pass it cross court to Bryn Swenson. Now Redfern set up front by Digman. Rundy, that's the match, folks. Set 1, Cuba City 25-20. Set 2, Cuba City 25-16. Set 3, Mineral Point 25-23. And set 4, Cuba City 25, Mineral Point 17. Final score, Cuba City 3, Mineral Point 1. As it's the Cuba City Cubans in the driver's seat in the Southwest Wisconsin Activities League.